Time with Mr. Josh Slatem. So please sit back and relax. We will begin very, very shortly. Welcome everybody, and it's so nice to have live events again, don't you agree? Everybody in the same room together, it's fantastic.
Morning everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. I realize that it's still very early in the expo, so I really appreciate the time you've put aside to listen to what I have to say today. To start with, I'm going to give you a bit of a background to myself. There we go, we're back up and running. As you can see, there's a picture of me when I was 6 years old. My parents put me to work at a very young age. I'm not too sure what happened to my two front teeth, but it didn't stop me from putting on such a beautiful smile. I'm proudly South African, and I've been working at Praxis as a payment manager for well over a year and a half now. Prior to this, I was in the retail industry for well over 6 years, and during this time frame, I founded and managed an e-commerce operation. This experience, combined with my current experience and getting to know hundreds of merchants within the Forex industry, has given me a great understanding of the high-risk payment space. My main role is to grasp the needs of my merchants and pair them accordingly with PSP solutions globally. Praxis. Praxis is turning theory into action, or into praxis. This is the vision the owners had when launching the company midway through 2014. The owners are well familiar with the Forex industry, as they themselves managed a large Forex operation. And as we all know, the lifeblood of any Forex operation is its CRM, which can be very dynamic at times. CRMs have multiple connections to multiple providers, such as trading applications, KYC, customer verification applications, BR tools, email campaign softwares, and this is just to name a few. However, most vital, and which the owners felt was overlooked, was an effective and efficient way for everyone in the industry to manage their payments. The owners also noticed there was a large time delay between signing with the PSP and that PSP going into full production. This could take anywhere from 1 to 6 months plus. One of the main limiting factors is that you had to rely on a CRM and a tech team to configure APIs to localize payment methods or customize the payment order flow. The owners saw a need for cashier software that is integrated with hundreds of pre-integrated solutions where you can activate in real time immediately. From their own experience and intense market research, they realized that many brokers in the industry face many of the same challenges, and I'm going to go through a few now. Number one, too heavily dependent on a single payment provider without having a backup. 2, unable to distribute volume between PSPs to mitigate your risk. 3rd, unable in real time to activate and deactivate pre-integrated solutions. And 4th, the continuous third-party hosted payment page redirections to a platform that is not native to your environment. These were just some of the challenges that brokers were facing in the industry, and Praxis began to meet the needs of these challenges with our 3 products. Firstly, we have Praxis GT. This is our gateway technology for PSPs. We offer this as a white label solution to these PSPs that don't have their own gateway technology. Second of all, we have Praxis Direct. This is a direct API connection into Praxis Gateway to use our integrations and some of our features. So in an instance where brokers got the existing cashier environment or payment page, they can use Praxis just as a connector to various solutions such as e-wallets, APMs, and credit card providers. Thirdly, we have Praxis Cashier. This is our flagship product and by far our most popular offering, as it covers the entire payment flow from end to end. The customer gets a fully customizable payment page where solutions can be added and removed in real time. Volume and velocity limits can be preset based on various parameters with a wide range of other features. But we all know in this market, time and timing is key. So a key part to what we do at Praxis is time to market. You would all agree this is very important. 2 points on time to market. When a merchant is issued live credentials, they should be able to activate that solution immediately in real time. 2, backup PSPs are set in the cashier to instantly be a failover in case a PSP goes down temporarily or indefinitely. This brings me to our first case study today. So this brings me to my first case study. I'll give you a bit of background to the merchant. They were in South Africa. They were targeting South Africa. They had a few 100,000, small amounts of volume on a monthly basis. They were using our Praxis Direct product. Remember, that's just a connection to Praxis. Within the existing cashier, they didn't have our embedded iframe, and then we were just an option on their payments page. This merchant also did a direct integration, so not through us, directly with the PSP, and they relied on this provider as their sole provider in South Africa. And the inevitable happened. The merchant was informed by the PSP overnight that they can no longer process for them. For the merchant, this was their sole provider. So in this situation, the dangers are clear. Not having redundancy in your payment structure puts your business at risk. You've already invested heavily in marketing, sales, back office, and everything else surrounding running a professional operation, and you do not have backup PSPs in place. So what happened next? This merchant called us and immediately informed us of the situation, and they needed our help. Fortunately, they were using our Praxis Direct product. We instantly upgraded them to our fully embedded cashier, native to their platform. We had existing relationships with PSPs in South Africa that were already integrated with us. We literally, in 48 hours, had this merchant back up and running. This time using our iframe and the solutions running in the background. This merchant actually saw a massive increase in approval ratio, went from 22% to 66%. And as you know, from a captured volume point of view, that's a large difference. The reason for this increase is that now we had introduced the merchant to multiple solutions. They didn't rely on one provider, right? Excuse me. And now we also introduced them to more localized solutions, I'm not too sure if you're familiar with the South African market. A big thing there is EFTs, electronic fund transfers. We connect them to 3 of those to act as a fallback. Something's happening here, but let me carry on. So with this case study now, you can see that you can connect Praxis, you've got access to all the PSPs. There's 2 critical things that need to be set up in your payment flow in order for you to manage them effectively and efficiently. 1, smart transaction routing, where you can route traffic based on BIN, country, card type, and more. 2, this is what we like to call sticky processing. This is called sticky processing, where cards are routed to a PSP where they last had an approved transaction. So in essence, when a broker has their own existing cashier and a merchant comes for the client comes for the second, third time, and it gets routed to the PSP where they were previously approved before. So they'll skip all the credit card providers in the BIN rules and the routing rules and go straight to the last processor where they had an approved transaction. This will bring me to my second case study, which clearly is not working at the moment. I'll do my best to give you, there we go. So I'll go on to case study number 2. The slideshow seems to be behaving itself now. The scenario is as follows. We have a merchant licensed in multiple jurisdictions targeting the Indonesian market without localized solutions. It's important to note that this merchant is licensed with FCA, ASIC, and a Mauritian license. The broker was well invested in infrastructure, corporately and regulatory, and they were targeting a market with well over 270 million people, and they're not even reaching 500,000 a month in approved transactions. Excuse me. So what happened next? An account manager from my department noticed that the merchant was bringing Indonesian traffic without local solutions, local APMs, local credit card processors. They reached out to the merchant, advised them of this, and offered our assistance on how we can increase the approval ratio. The merchant was on board. We instantly introduced him to 2 local bank-wire solutions, a local e-wallet, and more risk-averted credit card providers that could take Indonesian traffic. We set up the proper routing, and we adjusted the positioning of the payment method order based on performance. As you can see over here, there's a significant increase in approval ratio from 22% to just below 70%. This gets me really excited because not only am I happy that the merchant is now doing 2.3 million a month in Indonesia, I'm equally happy that my account manager reached out to the merchant, advised them of how we can help, partnered with the merchant, and I mean the results speak for themselves. This is called teamwork, and that's what you want out of a cashier software provider. Both the case studies, again, my apology for the first one not coming up on time, both these case studies show the importance of having redundancy in your payment methods so your business is more risk averse. That's protecting your business, and the results are clear. The approved transaction volume shoots up. Yes, there's other things in place like sales, retention, all that sort of stuff. We're aware of that, but having the solutions in place really gives you a good platform to target emerging markets. Now, in this scenario, and if any of you found yourselves in the same scenario where you're already using Praxis, this merchant had the multiple licenses, multiple brands with Praxis. Their single brand was targeting the European market and also the emerging markets. They were paying us a single fee, no additional fee. They needed to come to us first as a value-added benefit where we could guide them accordingly with PSPs to use in that emerging market prior to them doing all their work and, like in case study number 1, relying on what could be a single point of failure. Both case studies, I've purposely left out merchant and PSP names out of respect to our partners. Hence, the case studies might seem a bit distant. If I could, I'd be up here the whole day speaking with you guys and going through the details, but we've got other speakers and they also need a turn. I'm going to be here for the next 2 days. I would really like to meet you. We can chat about the case studies or anything regarding payments. We can discuss this further at our booth. We're at booth number 55, and there are company details, so if you want to take note of them or just come visit us, that would be great. Again, thank you. I really appreciate your time.